All right, our next one is Cl. All right, it's number 17. So if I look on the periodic table, number 17, that's chlorine, right, that I find here. All right, from here, let's look at how many electron rings it has. Remember, electron rings, it's the period number. So since it's in the third row, it's in the third period, which means it has 3 electron rings inside of its atom, right? How many valence electrons does it have, right? Since it has 3 rings, how many does it have on its third ring? So if I look here, remember, right, you get rid of these 10 that are in the middle. Remember, you're only counting the tall columns, right? So I'm going to go 1, first column, 2 columns, right? It's in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Since it's in the 7th tall column, it's got 7 valence electrons, right? That's an important part when I make my atom. All right, so let's now talk about how to make my atom here, okay? So again, right, I need to, number one, think about chlorine has 17 protons because it has an atomic number of 17. That also tells me that I have 17 total electrons, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 17 protons. I'm going to put those in the nucleus, right? I already counted those out. And I also know that I have 17 electrons, right? So I already counted those out. Now, remember, this week it's important that we put these electrons in the right spot. So, again, right, how many go in the first ring? 2, right? Right, and then the next ring goes 8, right? It's full at 8, so I'm going to put 8, right, around like so. And I kind of group them in these kind of like groups of 2 because it's a little bit easier. And we'll talk a little bit more about that next week too as to why you kind of group them up like that. And then what I should have left is 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? Because I should have 7 valence electrons, which means 7 of them go on the outermost ring, which in this case is the third ring, right? Okay. And then my 7th one right there. So all together, when I look at it, I should have, right, 17 protons so far. I should have 17 electrons, but they should be spaced out over 3 rings, right? They shouldn't just be placed anywhere. Remember, how did I get to 2 here, and then 8, and then 7, right? Number 1, I should have 7 because there's 7 valence electrons. So that means that third ring should have 7 electrons, right? And then how do I figure out how many fit on each ring? Remember, on each ring, you can only have as many as there are in that ring or in that row. So since the first row only has 2 elements, right, hydrogen and helium, you can only fit 2 electrons in there, right? Next ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 elements, which means I can only fit 8 electrons in that second ring, right? And then since chlorine is in here, which is in the 7th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's got 7 in the third ring, right? Now let's figure out how many neutrons it has. Okay, now in this case, chlorine has an atomic mass of 35.45. So on average, because we can't have a half a neutron, right? We can't have 0.45. So on average, most chlorine is chlorine 35, which means that it has 17 protons and 18 neutrons, because 17 plus 18 gets to 35. So I'm rounding 35.45 down to 35. So I'm going to take my 18, and I've counted these out already. I'm going to put them inside the nucleus. Okay. All right, and there you go. And that is the proper, right, atom picture for chlorine. There you go.